Okay, so this practice page was supposed to be an independent practice, so I wanted you to try all 6 of these problems and then use this video to check your answers. So I already went ahead and did the grunt work of drawing out all the Lewis structures of each element. And then I'm going to quickly go through and draw the Lewis structure and answer the questions to figure out the VSEPR shape. Okay. So chlorine has 7 and 7. So if I were to match up all the lonely electrons, that would go here. So chlorine is going to be shared with another chlorine like this, with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that is a nice drawing of Cl2. There is no central atom, but you could say 1 or you could say Na. There is no central atom, so the shape that it creates is a single line, and we call that linear. All right, the next one, carbon has 4, oxygen has 6, oxygen has 6. So this might have been a little tricky, but here carbon has the least number, so we want to put carbon in the middle. So we want our oxygens to attach to our carbons. In that case, we can go here and here, and then here and here. Okay? If that's the case, then the drawing comes out to look like this. Carbon in the middle, 2 here, 2 here, and it gets connected to our oxygen here, and it gets connected to our oxygen over here. Oxygen had some extra electrons, so I'm going to draw them. All right, now to answer the questions on the right. How many atoms are bonded to our central atom? 2. Does the central atom, so does our carbon, have any electrons that are not being shared, lone pairs? The answer is no. If it's 2 and no, if you look back at your notes, that means we create another line. We call that linear. All right, next one. Nitrogen has 5. Each hydrogen has 1. So we pair up the lonely ones, and the lonely ones. So if that's the case, if I were to redraw it, it would look like nitrogen in the middle. It's going to attach to hydrogen. It's going to attach to hydrogen. And it's going to attach to the other hydrogen. And here, nitrogen has that extra pair there. So it's going to have that going on right there. So question, how many atoms are bonded to central atom? 3. Does our central atom, nitrogen, have lone pairs? It has one right here. So the answer is yes. If it's 3 and yes, then it must be trigonal. Well, 3 tells us it's trigonal, but the yes tells us that we create a pyramidal shape. Perfect. So on to the next one. Hydrogen each have 1, oxygen has 6. So if I were to pair them up, then it would be here and here. There's only 1 oxygen, so I'm going to keep oxygen in the middle. And that means it's going to share with this hydrogen and share with this hydrogen. Oxygen has some dots here, so that means I need to draw those in right here. So let's answer the questions. There are 2 bonded to our central oxygen. Yes, our oxygen has lone pairs. It has some here and here. So if it's 2 and yes, according to our notes, the shape is bent. Okay, next we have boron with 3 valence electrons and fluorine each with 7. So if I were to connect these lonely dots, it would look like this. And then if I were to redraw it in a beautiful fashion, then it would look like boron in the middle. It's going to share with fluorine, share with fluorine, and then share with fluorine, and all those extra dots I need to draw in. Okay, now let's answer our question. Our central atom boron is attached to 3. Boron doesn't have any extra electrons, so the answer is no. 3 tells us that it's trigonal, tri meaning 3, but the no tells us that it's planar. Planar is flat, so it's a flat molecule. Next, we have CH4, carbon with 4 valence electrons, hydrogen each having 1. So then if I were to make some friends here, there's only 1 carbon, right? So everything's going to attach to my carbon. So it's going to go here, 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 and here. All right, so putting carbon in the middle, it's going to be here. So now I'm going to make buddies with hydrogen, become buddies with hydrogen, become buddies with hydrogen, become buddies with hydrogen. Okay, how many atoms am I attached to? 4. There are no lone pairs. The only shape that 4 has is tetrahedral. Awesome. Any questions? Ask the teacher.